Well, hello and welcome to Unstuck with Charlie. My name is Charlie Arms. Today we're going to talk about the number one thing that holds us back in life, and that is our inability to be teachable. Let me ask you, are you teachable? Can you learn from someone who knows more than you? Can you even admit there are people who know more than you? I'll confess, I struggle with this. As a pastor, I'm often expected to have all the answers. And the reality is that I don't always have the answers, right? None of us do. Why do we struggle to learn from others? Perhaps it's our independent spirit. Maybe it's just an intense desire to do it on our own, right? To be strong, right? It could just be plain old stubbornness, though, right? My wife and I are the parents of 3 young adults. And no matter how much wisdom we might impart, there is often a reluctance to receive. And now, if you're a parent, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not limited to youth and young adults, though. This mentality is pervasive in our society as a whole. And sadly, it even crops up in the church. As a pastor, I've dedicated my life to sharing wisdom and knowledge from God's Word, the Bible, to people in order that they might apply it to everyday life and find success. Now, when it comes to the Bible and matters of faith, I'm pretty knowledgeable, right? I have 35 years of experience in ministry, a master's degree, and I've helped a lot of people through a wide variety of issues. Do you think people listen to me? Not very often. I find myself preaching to the wall sometimes. In counseling sessions, there seemed to be such a desire to push back on any wisdom offered. People's lives are a mess, and yet they push back on any help that you try to give them, and they believe that if they keep trying their own approach, it will eventually lead them to the promised land. And correction? Are you kidding me? If you try to offer that, people just will want to ignore you. They'll even leave the church when you try to help them acknowledge things that are being destructive in their lives. Running away from help seems to be something that happens more often than not. People will do almost anything to avoid advice and a little thing we call accountability. We want to talk about this because this is the number one problem that keeps people stuck right where they are. The Bible instructs us this way in Proverbs 19. Listen to advice and accept discipline, and at the end, you will be counted among the wise. Listen to advice and accept discipline, and at the end, you will be counted among the wise. Why do people reject advice and discipline? Okay, number 1, pride. Pride, it comes right before the fall, right? However, pride is what keeps us from getting help. It's hard to admit you don't have an answer. It's hard to admit that you need help. But yet, every 12-step program begins with the idea that you have to acknowledge that you have a problem. You have to learn to listen to advice, seek out help. So pride, and then low self-esteem. Sometimes we try to hide, we refuse help because we're trying to maintain the false illusion that we have it all together, that we know what we're doing. We don't want to let anyone help us because we have to admit that we've not succeeded at something. We don't want to show any chinks in the armor, if you get what I'm saying, right? We think this approach makes us seem strong, but it's actually a sign of weakness. It's something that's going to keep us stuck in a bad place. We have to push back against that pride and low self-esteem to get the help we need. So listen to advice from people who are better trained, more knowledgeable, and have overcome some of the same obstacles you're trying to overcome. Seek out wise people. Now, I always tell people, if it's not me, find someone, right? Now, I hope this has been helpful, and I'd like to ask you to hit the like button and consider subscribing to this channel. I'd really appreciate it, and I want to thank you for checking out this video. Let me know what you think about this topic down in the comment section below, and let's have a conversation. Be blessed, and let's move forward.